Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 in the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Disclosures. We have another show with Peter the Insider, and we are going to continue on our conversation regarding the time crack that he discussed earlier. Actually, it's the last show. So without further delay, let's get right into it with Peter. Hi, Peter.
So I want to say hello to you, Jessica, and to all of our regular and maybe not so regular listeners. And oh my, I think we've got a problem. This is what I like to say, Houston situation. Jeez, this is not good.
All right, so let's get into it, Peter. What is happening?
Yeah, I found out that my wife has or had twin, which was born, but during the process died. And the name was Heather. I'm like, what in the world? What the heck is wrong with you? She didn't told me that. Nope.
You mean she never told you that in the past?
Nope, never.
But she, when you say twin, so it's not the type of twin that looks identical to her, but
No. From two eggs. Yeah.
So this is Heather Shaw. That is the twin of your wife that you were
exactly. Yeah.
And that explains why she was attacking you, or do we ever figure out why she was attacking you? I know she wanted to have your baby.
This is crazy. I don't know, because the whole situation is so weird, and I was like, why in the world she's talking about I want to have your babies? And I was like, why in the world babies? Jeez. Oh.
Wow.
This is not wow, Jessica. This is crazy.
So what does this mean for you, Peter? I mean, how does this affect your life? I mean, because that's your inner circle of who you're working with.
Okay. Give me a second. Do you have easier question for me? I don't know. I just found it out like yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, what I was showing you earlier, and I'll show the people, is I discovered this one weird. I was looking up time crash the last week when we were going over the show, and I read this part. Time crash is an evolved copy ability based on the crash that appears in Kirby, the Forgotten Land. Now, we were talking about Heather Shaw, who is Vanessa Kirby, and the time crash. And you said time is cracking.
Jessica, let me correct you, okay? Time cracked. It is not like time is cracking. it already happened, okay?
It shows Kirby gains a golden top hat with a shining hourglass inset and timer dial on the front. When Kirby uses this ability, it allows him to create an explosion that deals large amounts of damage to nearby enemies and slows them down significantly for a short moment, creating a sepia tone, which is a blue-colored effect. People have been contacting me about this weird blue color, and they were even drinking this blue liquid. And they were seeing that in dreams and visions. And during the slowdown effect, Kirby can run into other enemies to damage them in a manner similar to Invincible Candy, which is probably another character here. But it's kind of revealing a little bit, which is, some people say this is ridiculous. Not really, when you see all the different reveals that have come out from different shows, websites, and video games, this is a video game, even though it's juvenile, but clearly a problem. We have a long history with Shaw House. With Shaw House doing different things.
Yeah, I mean, a really bad history. we need to be very correct, okay?
There was another thing that I found. This right here, which is Shaw Brothers Studio. Runji, Runmi, and Rundi found Tianyi Film Company in Shanghai. Run Shaw managed the precursor to the parent company Shaw Organization. Run took over the film production business of it in Hong Kong-based sister company Shaw and Sons Limited. In 1958, the new company Shaw Brothers was set up, and in the 1960s, the Shaw Brothers established what was once the largest privately owned studio in the world, Movie Town.
Yeah, that's correct. And try to guess. It is, everything is how can I say it, situated in Asia. Do you know what I mean? All kind of the knowledge and magic and all kind of that stuff is in Asia. And you know, like the most enhanced and advanced technology, you know, from Mesopotamia, now in Iraq, you know, this is in, and I know it's different part of Asia, but still it is Asia. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Huh?
I do, yeah. And this happened, so this is not a typical last name, is it? Shaw?
Shaw is in Chinese, it's Shaw. Give me a second where the heck it is, our chat. Yeah, it is like, it is Shaw. It is like that, Shaw. Shaw. I write it for you. Mm-hmm. Shaw. And for making it more like easier, in order to easier to pronounce and all kind of that stuff, they just interchange it, and it is, or let's say that was it. That was the, as I like to say, the magic. Do you know what I mean?
That was their intention originally. So it was, you said it was SHO as show.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly.
The story of the Shaw brothers is a success story of a fairy tale proportions. The main ingredients of success of Runmi and his brother Run have been sheer business acumen and hard work. And I'm just looking a little bit at what they're saying. In Hong Kong, people work all the time and have nowhere to go, so keeping them amused and entertained is a challenge. So almost like, you know, the way Ringling Brothers came out, the circus. They saw that people were around and wanted entertainment, the way the Romans did with bread and circus, and the way Hollywood did and obviously Asia and the Shah organization were looking at, post World War II when he came out?
Yeah, you are right. It makes the whole storyline make, let's say, it makes perfect sense. Yep, you are right.
So how does this show a connection between the origin of the Shah House, or is it separate?
Let's say that they've got their own interests in Hong Kong. And give me a second. You said Hong Kong or Taiwan?
They said Hong Kong in here.
But give me a second. Look, because it was colony till 1997. It was British colony. You know that, right?
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, now I get it. So are they all the same family?
No. Let's say Shaw, this family, they are helping them. The show, the Shao. My bad, the Shao. They are helping them to keep certain influence, their own personal interests, and all kind of that stuff, and they are using, from my point of view, rather than say use but misuse the very similar pronunciation of the surname. Okay, that's it.
Look at they have Blade Runner here.
My question is why you are so surprised.
I had not seen it before. But I shouldn't be surprised because, even like in India, they have Bollywood. And they had their own movie industries in different countries. The crossover is the name. Here's Shaw Jupiter Films production.
Yeah, they've got their own, because look, Jet Li or Jackie Chan and all kind of those guys, they are from Hong Kong industry, or they were, You know that, or didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
I didn't know that Blade Runner was connected to this, but this is, when they say Jupiter Films, are they saying they have an alliance with some programs in Jupiter?
To be perfectly honest, once again, I am kind of surprised that you didn't knew that. Yeah, because they are. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. It's right here. And I'm looking to see if there's other connections. They aligned with a bunch of different groups: William Tennant production, Gabriel Kotska production, Ladd production. I know that there was an actor by the name of Ladd. In Harbor Productions, and Wolf Hartwig Productions. So they did Dracula, 7 Vampires, and then the Hammer production, which is probably like the Arm and Hammer company, I'm assuming. So they did align with some Western companies as well as Universal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
But on a look at this, amusement parks as well. That's what I said in the beginning. Because that's how all of this started, was amusement parks and carnivals. And then when the I think it was photography and then black and white movies started to come out, and it evolved, didn't it? Took on its own industry.
Yep, you are right.
So what does this mean for you, Peter, that your wife has this strong link to Shaw House? But I mean, I was assuming that somehow there was this big link to Shaw House, particularly because she kept showing up. I mean, she was in your space a lot, not really this years before.
She's really, or she was a really pain in the ass, man.
The programs, they're everything's messed up, isn't it?
Yeah, you are right.
So they say that it's a family-based club for highly prominent members of society. They have a wide variety of illegal business activities around the world, including human trafficking for prostitution, slavery, human organ harvesting. They also sell valuable intel from various intelligence services and latest generation cutting edge weapons with the black market. This is in of itself poses a tremendous risk on the rest of the world, as it could very well bring global warfare and conflict to a terrifying new level.
And my question is, why you are so, how can I say it, so surprised? Because they are doing this for not years, for decades, maybe for centuries. Because you know, if you like it or not, they were a colonial empire.
They were the colonists.
Colonists, but I mean British Empire, you know. And like it or not, they are, let's say they were, you know, heavily supported by Show House. I mean the British family, the
elite families.
yes,
the
yes. This is absolutely crazy, geez. It
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
I had a vision years ago, a couple years ago. I was watching Heather Shaw interacting, and she was doing some kind of mind control over Hitler and some of these others, telling them what to do. And I said something to you about it, and it's almost like then, you know, of course, then their mind gets wiped, but then the subconscious program starts to kick in, doesn't it? The background.
Yep.
So here recently, the youngest member of the generation has taken control of the entire organization and has continued the downward spiral towards more chaos, cruelty, and instability. The entire house is tearing itself apart from the inside out and brings to question why this group has gone unpunished for so long. The reason why they remain untouched is because they have contacts within all major royal families, worldwide leadership, in the richest and the most powerful clans of businessmen, and secret societies such as Bilderberg, Illuminati, Lioness, P2, Rotarians, Club of Rome, Wetton Group, Zionists, etc. Self-disclosure references to the Shaw House have been made in the film Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, as well as the video game Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, that's true.
So do you see that your scenario plays out in any of the shows, or is this something that's kind of
I don't know. I don't understand the whole stuff. It doesn't make sense for me.
It's okay to talk about it since you're still investigating how this all happened.
Hey, I don't care anymore, to be honest, okay? I don't care.
I know, because I'm sure it's heartbreaking to see that.
Do you know what? In this situation, I'm like, do you know what, guys? Screw that. Oh my God.
Well, Monarch and Shaw House have been trying very hard to integrate your space. And we've seen that happen quite often. We know what happened about a month or so ago. Your situation became very severe and dangerous.
Yeah, it was that was crazy. That was a wild one.
And recently you said I was in danger and I did have some problems with the plane.
Do you know what? That was even even more crazier. Jeez.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm still intact. I definitely wasn't as severe as what you went through, but clearly I was targeted in a way that didn't make any sense. You know, and you know, I guess nothing happened in the end, but it was just
In the end of the day, I love this phrase. In the end of the day.
end of the day, yeah, I was okay, but I was really confused. Like, why in the world? What were they talking about? And to the point where I had to even ask you what they were talking about because I didn't know.
And then you know.
Yeah.
Man,
So
oh man.
they're not happy with us because the corporations are influencing the alphabet group, and in the alphabet
I love yours. Alphabet group. Jeez.
Yeah.
I love that alphabet group, and I was like,
yeah,
what?
well, we want to be YouTube friendly.
I love that so much. Sorry guys, but this is funny. Alphabet group, and I was like, what? For first time once you used the term, and I was like, what is alphabet? I mean, are we talking about Google? That was funny. Sorry.
So it brings us to a Watchdog Legion, and you can see the that's like a monarch.
Yeah, you are goddamn right. Goddamn right.
Because we know that monarch has been trying to influence your relationship. There's been a few times where they've been trying to lure Chloe, who was, definitely subjected to them, that they, controlled her as a refugee.
Yeah, you are right.
So the collaboration of Monarch and Shaw House, I think we're starting to unravel what some of the problems were of what you went through, right? Between the fairies and, being redirected in a time jump.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Time jump is crazy. My, oh my. I don't know what the heck is going on with time jump.
This game is set in the near future where London is facing its downfall. The people are being oppressed by an all-seeing surveillance state. Private militaries control the street and powerful crime syndicate is preying on the vulnerable. The fate of London lies with a DedSec and the player's ability to recruit resistance and fight back.
Everything of this is so crazy, Jesus.
So is this another timeline? Or
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because we see that there's problems over there. They've tried to put up surveillance and then people are trying to pull it down. They're trying to control things. But there was also that portal that went through London as well that we talked about.
Yeah, you are right.
So by Heather having access into your space,
Not good idea. Not good.
This has led up to this time crack.
Yeah.
They attempt to find a clan Kelly. I found the name Kelly connected to what's his name? One of the guys that worked with John D. He was a friend of John D.
Yeah.
He is known for working with John D. in his magical investigations. Besides the professed ability to see spirits or angels, and Shaw,
Yeah.
Shaw, SHEW, which is Old English for SHOW.
Yeah, you are right.
Error. So I'm wondering if the name actually has another meaning. Show instead of Shaw. Which John Dee is valued. Kelly also said that he possessed the secret of transmuting base metals into gold and the goal of alchemy, as well as the philosopher's stone itself. Legends began to surround Kelly shortly after his death. His flamboyant biography, his relationships with Queen Elizabeth, is Royal Magus Sir John Dee and Emperor Rudolph II, and his repute of having a great alchemical skill and the ability to communicate with angels have all led to his relative notoriety among historians.
Yeah, that is crazy.
So maybe this is another piece of it.
You are goddamn right. You are goddamn right.
Some of these beings are hundreds of years old, if not more.
Nope, thousands.
Thousands.
That's better. That's better. My oh my.
The case of Heather Shaw, it could be like you, just like we talked about number 15, even though people are insistent that it's one particular way.
Nah, it's not.
Until they open their eyes and recognize that these are not normal everyday beings.
Yep.
People want to create the narrative that fits into what they think it should be, but it's not always the case.
Not
it's just
always, like, Jessica. Most time it's not the case.
This is not a preference. So, for example, if you have a theory that someone stole something from somewhere, but someone has a camera, you can continue to theorize and deny that the camera was showing who that individual was. And it doesn't prove anything if you're in denial of the fact. And this is the problem that we're dealing with, is that, you know, for example, Jack the Ripper. People keep talking about it for thousands of years, if that's what they're going to get into, because certain people insist.
Nah, give me a second. Only hundreds of years. John the Ripper.
Yeah, no, Jack. Yeah.
Jack or John?
Jack or John. You're right. I'm just saying.
But give me a second. What do you think? Isn't it just a lore in this in this specific case?
No, I'm pretty sure there was a specific Jack the Ripper. I have my belief of who I saw, and I saw that through a regression with someone. That
so it is not just a lore. Just give me a second. What it is? The term or urban legend?
No, I saw that through someone's Akashic records. This person was the wife of Jack the Ripper.
Okay.
She witnessed everything that was going on in his life, and in the end, she poisoned him.
God. Oh.
So I just had to go back in time and find out which one it was. Like I went and did research, and then I found out.
Because from my point of view, it kind of looks like that. It was just a lore. I mean, not lore. Let's say, you know what I'm trying to say. Urban legend. It kind of looks like that, from my point of view. You know.
Yeah, well, because they're making it that way. The same things happened with number 15. They've turned it into a legend because they refuse to look at who exactly it was. Or they want everyone to believe it's this one particular person, where you clearly stated that it is an astral being that is not necessarily having a male or female gender, but possibly either or both.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Definitely, you are goddamn right. You are goddamn right.
I'm just looking quickly to see the one that I thought was Jack the Ripper. And they had like a bunch of candidates. Certain suspects.
And that's the reason, from my point of view, I don't know if it is true or not.
Well,
I mean, actually, do you know what I'm trying to say?
if the person is a time traveler, right, then you should be able to find it.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if it's not a time traveler, then it could also be related to a political thing where they
Ah,
fight it.
okay. Okay, now it makes sense. But long story short, we can go on and on. Time cracked. No, it's not true. Time didn't crack. Time smashed completely, and we don't know per any sort of parameters of new time. Great, perfect.
You watched time crack. You were in this other
No, give a second. Not crack. As I said, it completely smashed like huge table, huge piece of glass, huge table of glass or huge mirror, and you just smash it on the floor, and it just make thousands or maybe dozens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of small pieces, and there is no single chance of getting it, making it again together as it was. Period. End of story. Bye bye. And that's the problem. Yes, time exists, but we have no goddamn clue about the parameters. Nope, we don't know. I mean parameters, the characteristics of the new time, if you want to call it that way.
So
And
time will act differently? Is that what you're saying?
definitely time acts differently. So many people said me that since February 29th it acts differently. So many people told me that. I mean, not me, but they reported it into ACIO because I'm in different contexts of existence and making crazy missions just by the way. Man, oh man.
Peter, I just did a search.
Uh-huh.
February 29, strange occurrences. Christopher Columbus first set his eyes on America. And Hattie McDaniel. That's Heather, calls herself Hattie.
Yep.
She broke barriers by becoming the first African American to win in the Oscar for her role in Gone with the Wind.
Give me a second. Did I say that? Did I say that?
Yeah.
Look what everything happened. Yeah, this is not what we want to get.
And this was 1940. But then it was 1493. You got Christopher. So she was involved with the change of what was happening and then inserted herself into this Gone with the Wind.
Because I said, Jessica, in any way we talk, you know, look, everything. You can go in 1944 in any Witok what happened. You can go just scroll up in any Witok, Gone with the Wind on any Witok. What happened?
Island of Any Wetok was captured by American forces during World War II. Sorry. There she is right there. There's
I'm just saying, you know, none of this will be like before, like it or not, and people don't want to accept that. Don't ask me why, but it will. The question doesn't stand if, but when. It will be massive. And
Has he said,
people, I mean, how can I say it? The hard skeptics, like for those people only, they believe either only mainstream media or just for science, and they said like, nah, conspiracy theorists and people from alternative community and all kind of that stuff, nah, they are saying nonsense, heathens, creepy craps, eccentrics. Do you know what? Everything will start to happen, everything like that, and I don't know, mental institutions will be full. And I am not kidding you, okay? I am not. Because those people, I am calling them normies, you know, they will not get it. They will be fools. And I mean it for real. Like, give me a second. I am not wishing anybody, I don't wish anybody anything bad, okay? But those people, they are like, just do whatever scientists said and all kind of that stuff. Hey, I am not forcing you to believe anything or to do anything what is against your personal preference and all kind of that stuff, but and we know what will happen. Just FYI, do you know what I mean?
on the 29th is the day, the dark day in Salem, when they had started the Salem witch trials, which we've been talking about for years.
Oh my God. Give me a second. What do you think about witch trials? And be honest with me, okay?
Well, you know, I grew up around the area, so I was exposed to people that were into, you know, this type of activity.
Hey, Jessica, please. But it was hundreds of years ago. Huh?
If you go there today, the people are very fascinated with this type of activity.
Jessica, but those are centuries. Oh my God. What?
Well, they're not against the witches. They're promoting the witches.
Oh my God.
And all of the different types of crafts. And if you go to Salem today or any day of the week throughout the year, particularly around Halloween, it is crazy busy from people from all over the world going there.
Oh my God.
So this whole phenomenon that they always said that the witch trials were the young girls, were very, very like crazy, like you're just saying, exactly what you're saying, that they didn't make any sense. They started accusing people that they disliked, or maybe they were actually in some kind of delusion and were pointing out innocent people. They say that the people that were actually practicing witchcraft were over in another town called Andover, and that was another area that I lived in. And it's a long history, you know, it's a very long history.
Oh my God.
But
And I believed that it wasn't that, I mean, that crazy, okay? Oh my God.
the young girls went crazy. They were screaming, they were accusing, and the deaths were horrible. They just piled these big stones on people, and
What?
so
Give me a second. I was just like, how can I say it? I was like, if this was just, or let's say those were just stories. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No, these people got crushed to death by heavy stones, and some of them, many of them were drowned. And then, you know,
Oh my God.
also,
I was naive. Because
yeah,
to be perfectly honest with you, I believed those were just stories, okay? No, with all the honesty and all the respect, I believed it was just those were just stories. Oh my
No,
God.
I think this has been going on for hundreds of years because the church didn't want people to do the practice some of the old ways. They were trying to convert everyone to their belief system and to control them politically, right?
But give me a second. That's a question. Was those stuff the which what so forth? I don't know. I
Let's
don't know
try.
how to how to call it properly. Was it safe or not? And that's my question. Give me a second. Huh? Was it safe or not?
I think that these were herbalists. A lot of them were just herbalists, and they were using very old practices to help them to figure out, kind of like the weather and whether, they were going to be safe, whether they were going to be attacked. I don't think it was all like the way that they talk about it now. I think if I look back in the future, or if I've seen through the Akashic records, the way that people were practicing, it was mostly earth magic, they call it, where they were just connecting in like with fairies.
Give me a second. I know it is impolite to interrupt you, but pretty much you are, because from my point of view, what I know, okay, it kind of looks like you are referring to Wiccans.
Wiccans, yeah, that's what I'm
Wiccans.
saying. Majority of the Wiccans is because they saw people have seen this incident as an oppression. So anytime you see an oppression, you have the counter, the opposite, right? So
Ah,
practical,
okay.
yeah.
Now it makes sense. Okay, 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 okay.
And there was a very, very famous Wiccan in Salem, Massachusetts that I met her. She's internationally known,
Okay.
and her name's Laurie Cabot. And I I was in a store, I was promoting my book in a store next to her store, and someone asked me to go over and meet her, and I said hi to her, and she goes, I met you before, and I said, I don't think so, but it was a past I knew her from a past life.
And what do you think about in particular about Wicca? Not about specific people, but about Wiccan as how can I say it? In particular, that's my question.
I think that when we got away from herbal remedies and taking care of ourselves and connecting to the earth and respecting the earth, we started to damage the earth. So in that sense, we messed up, and I think certain religions made us less aware of nature. On the other hand, I don't believe in killing things to use power against others and that sort of situation. So it's a big difference. I need to clarify it because some people will say, "Oh, you're you're a Wiccan or whatever." I'm not any religion. I'm not even a Wiccan, but I do have a
Ah, okay. And what you are?
I'm not really any belief system in particular, but I respect other people's belief system, and I just feel like there's a universal, beautiful, divine power that exists that supports the soul, and we're accountable for
Okay.
what we do. And I believe that all living things have value, and it's pretty much like that. I mean, obviously I have
That has it. This is everything fine, but it has one catch. People don't like this.
no, they don't like, well, if they look at it, see, this community accepts the idea that I have
No, give me a second. I'm just saying, do you know what I mean?
psychical.
That it is great, but that's the problem, that people are absolutely way out of this. What is it? Uh, belief. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, some people are very
And my
Christian.
question is, why in the world are people like that? It doesn't make sense for me.
When we're going to get to a point where people are going to pull away from the man-made traditions and belief systems and understand that the most important part of our existence is all related to the earth. And I know people say, oh, it was pagan because they worship the sun. They worship the sun because they don't exist without the sun. Some of the stuff didn't make
Ah,
right.
okay. Now it makes sense. Now it
So
makes.
the old ways of doing things weren't necessarily evil, but they were demonized by the churches because they needed to collect money. They needed to keep track of everyone. They needed to control people to some degree. And, some of these traditional churches. But, we're supposed to be operating in free will, because if we're not in free will, then we are not following through with our purpose here, because our decisions are determining our karma and everything else that's related to it. And that's why I also have an affinity for like the Hindu belief system, or, and I have pictures of Shiva and everything, because I don't see Shiva as evil, as some people think he's the destroyer, but I don't see that necessarily.
Oh, that's interesting because I don't believe it. I don't believe. I don't think he's destroyer. That's the question. Is he?
No, they say creator destroyer. So if you think about, like, you have to, like, I don't know, tear something down to build it up, or something like that.
This is exactly what I was up to say. Yeah, you nailed it. Exactly. Because it is like, of course, if you want something new to do, you nailed it. Yes. Because it is like, of course, it is way too obvious that you need to do so. Do you know what I mean? Like to tear down something if you want to build something else. It's at least from my point of view, it's nothing. How can I say it? Nothing complicated to what? To understand, if I am saying it right.
Yeah, like, even in alchemy, there's a tearing down of an element, but then a convergence of another element. There's when you're making a house, you have to cut down a tree.
Yeah, you are
I
right.
mean, I think there's probably a better way to say it, but I'm just, for a lack of.
No. You are goddamn right. You are goddamn right. Yeah. You are goddamn right.
Get back to this whole time situation. I found this being that's supposed to be an avatar of Vishnu, and it's kind of like scary looking a bit. You see, this reminds me so much of like the Aztec, or the temples or the Incan temples, where they would kind of do these rituals. I don't even know what the purpose was, but supposedly that's a demon. I don't know, but it's a half lion, half human looking.
Yeah, this is crazy. Oh my god.
Right. But look what he does. He is believed to have incarnated in the form of a part lion, part man, being to kill this being right here, Hiranyakashipu. This one that's lying down, to end religious persecution. We just talked about that.
Yep.
Belief systems, like the Wiccan stuff that we just mentioned, and calamity on earth, thereby restoring Dharma.
And what do you think about Dharma, just by the way?
Dharma is the key concept with multiple meanings in the Indian religion, and it is referring to behaviors that are in harmony with order and custom to sustain life, virtue, and religion. I guess there's more to this. Term commonly understood and referring to behaviors, order and custom, virtue, religious, and moral duties. So it's sort of your responsibility here.
Yeah.
Like purpose. So anyhow, we'll take a look at this. And he's depicted with 3 eyes. He's got 3 eyes. It looks like
yes, I saw that. This kind of nerve-wracking.
That's like us talking about our spirituality as the 3rd eye, right?
Oh, yeah, you are goddamn right. Hey, stop. You are goddamn right.
And described to be the god of destruction. So this is interesting because
But
everyone
give me a
became
second.
Shiva.
From my point of view, it is pretty much the circle, endless circle of creation, destruction. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And on and on and on and on and on and on. Am I right?
Right. And he's often depicted with 3 eyes and described, let me see, he destroys the entire universe at the time of the Great Dissolution. Hence, he is known as Kala, time, Mahakala, great time, Parakala, beyond time, in his epithets. And these exist in Matha or monastery dedicated to him by the name of Parakala, Matha, and Mayasura, and Sri Vaishnava tradition. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these words. He also is described
this is absolutely crazy. Yeah. Those words are crazy for us.
Yeah, it's not my language, but I do appreciate it. But so this we're getting back into time again. So look at that.
Jessica,
time, great time,
and this is it. Back into time again. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
So I want to bring up this movie that I watched last night, Peter.
Okay.
Have you heard of this movie called Spaceman?
No.
Okay, so it's what's his name? Adam Sandler, right? Adam Sandler is going into space. He's trying to get one of these particles because there is these purplish looking something in the sky, and they want to capture some of it. It's this right here. Can you see how it looks purplish?
Yep.
Okay, so that is supposed to be the beginning of the universe.
Oh my God.
So we're talking about time again, right? So,
yep.
And another topic that you brought up, he has this huge spider in the spaceship with him.
No, not again, spider, jeez.
But the spider said that he is from another planet, and he, just like the spaceman, he wanted to explore and see what was out there, and he joined him on the ship. He doesn't need to go through, he could go right through the ship, and was spending time with him and talking to him and trying to get into his head and read his memories and all that other stuff. And they go back and forth in conversation. They become friends. And
give me a second. Can this really happen? I mean, be a friend with. Sorry, I'm just. It was
interesting.
I am asking crazy questions.
Well, it's like you being friends with an ET or the Earthers or something.
What? Give me a second. I will never say that I am friend with ET, okay? Definitely not. Sorry.
Oh, that's not true. You're friends with Gary.
I don't know if I will say it like that.
I would say it like that.
Jerry, aka Gary, is weirdo. He's eccentric. he's eccentric. He's doing crazy stuff.
He is funny. He's very funny.
Yes, he is, but it automatically doesn't necessarily mean that I am friend with him, just by the way. But if you consider it as a friend, why in the world not? Screw that.
Peter, take a look at this. It almost looks like CERN. You know, if you start to look through the ship, it has this feeling.
Oh my God, it is not almost. It is definitely CERN.
And there's the spider. You see him?
Oh my God. Oh my. Nah, I don't like spiders.
So guess what? This is supposed to be the Czech. I think it's supposed to be from a Czech Space Force, and the guy that he's interacting with is named Peter.
Thank you very much. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to see that. So I'm gonna look it up here. so we can get the storyline. But it does fit in with what you were saying.
Thank you. This is great.
Czech astronaut Jacob, could you read that? Prochaska?
Prochaska. Yeah.
He's 6 months into
Jakub
space.
Prochaska. Yeah.
A mission to investigate a mysterious cloud of dust and particles called Chopra, lying beyond Jupiter. The Czech mission has arrived shortly before the South Korean astronauts to post, being the first to launch and explore Chopra. Jacob struggles with loneliness and misses his wife Lenka. And he recently stopped talking with him after he felt her and their unborn daughter behind to go on to the mission. He'd left them behind to go on the mission. So he meets this spider, and you know what he calls him? Hanush. Hanush, after the guy that created the clock.
Yeah, the clock. Yeah. And just by the way, do you know what happened with Hanush? He was blinded.
Yes, they talk about it in the movie.
Shoot.
And his good friend Peter. You sure you don't know who this is?
Yeah, I know, and that's the problem. I know the whole situation, Jesus Christ.
So now you know. Yeah, you didn't really made a movie out of it.
Oh my God. I hate this crap.
I thought, well, here again, what does Hanush stand for? Time.
Hanush is just a normal name.
He's the guy that created the clock.
Try to guess what? Guy who created the clock, huh? The clock. Jesus Christ, again and again. Jeez, no, I hate this.
Clock.
Yep. Astronomical clock. Oh my God, I hate this crap.
And we watched the movie last night.
Was it good?
It was interesting, especially like they show that the spider has wisdom. And maybe in some ways the spider is trying to appeal to us to not feel like anger. Because, ideally in our nature, the spiders don't necessarily hurt us unless we're just like anything, we get too close to their home.
Oh, give me a second. That's true. You are right. That's true. Yeah.
They say that the spiders will eat other insects in your home. And
give me a second. This is true. Give me a second. This is true.
So I think this was like another thread of information, kind of opening up more information about time. So, and it brings us here back into not necessarily your country, but close enough.
Yep, close enough. You are goddamn right. Close enough. My God.
But I sent you some information writing about the book. And
my, oh my, why in the world this crap again?
And there it is. Clockmaker Hanush was blinded on the order of the Prague counselors so that he could not repeat his work. In turn, he disabled the clock.
Yes, exactly. That's the reason why they did so. Man, oh man.
Yeah. So what does this mean then? This has to help you to figure out what's going on.
I don't know.
Because this clock shut down a couple times, didn't it? And then it started up again, like it got broken a few times and then changed and fixed. And
yes, you are right. And it was so crazy. My, oh my, oh my. I don't know what the heck should I Think about it.
So that movie just came out, and the timing too, I thought was pretty interesting. So
Yeah, you're right. Everything of this is interesting, if we want to call it that way.
right. So what do you think then, regarding this time being smashed, as you said?
Okay, ask me easier question, because we don't know anything about time. And I mean anything, okay?
Well, it's just been automatic, right? It was automated. Oh, no one really was working with it. From your perspective, is that what you're saying?
That's the main part of problem, let's say.
Is there something in this astronomical clock that could help you to resolve or to fix something regarding this problem? I believe that clock was there was the ETs had brought that knowledge to create that clock for a reason.
Yep, that's true.
Or is it connected to Heather Shaw? And we know that Heather Shaw has been threatening to do things if she's interfered with, right? She doesn't get her way.
You are goddamn right. This is everything of this is so crazy, jeez. I don't understand the whole thing.
You're still trying to figure it out because it affects you on a personal level.
Give me a second. Personal level. Screw personal level. I am talking about all the stuff. You know, it will. The whole timeline will collapse. It doesn't make any sort of sense. Jeez. Will make? Do you have the sense?
If it collapses, would it be like kind of a bare bones matrix, or would it be like
Do you know what? Yeah, some sort of.
kind of like what was it? Oh, what was that movie? 13th floor?
13th floor, yeah. Do you know what? That was actually a wild movie. Oh my god. That was actually a wild movie. Yeah, you are right.
Have this structure that's here. As he's driving, he can see everything's filled in, but it goes here, and it's just the bare bones matrix.
Yep.
But then that's it's like the machines, like the inner workings of the matrix that are moving and doing things.
Yeah, you are right.
All right, so I ended up seeing something. Joe Rogan was talking about something, and it made me think of what's going on in the matrix. And
But give me a second. In our actual version or what?
yeah, or maybe all of them. It's like an infrastructure.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So he was talking about using some kind of drug called DMT, and that people were seeing things like this. They call them the DMT elves.
Okay.
Have you seen anything like this before? Because I don't do drugs, but I don't know.
Okay, great. Thank
CIO
you very much. No, I never.
I'm not saying you did either, but I thought, well, maybe the ACIO records has information on what is going on in that space.
Give me a second. And my question is, because this is definitely weird. What do you think about people using drugs? Are they doing it because they are curious, or what's the main initial reason for that?
They deeply want to have an experience, but they could be damaging their brain, and I don't recommend it. I never did it, but some people say, well, you were already seeing, and I don't know if I'm supposed to apologize for that, but even more so, I wanted to stay away from it because I knew that it was pulling me into something I didn't want to be pulled into. And so I stayed clear from it because I figured I had enough problems without drugs. You know what I mean?
No, but give me a second. What do you think about being in the trip? I mean, Rausch. It is in German terminology, Rausch. It's pretty much something like a trip in English, like being under influence. Do you know what I mean? But not under influence of alcohol, but under influence of drug. Because from my point of view, it is extremely dangerous, and I highly do not recommend. Don't use drugs. Nope.
I know one thing. I mean, you know, marijuana is legal now, right? And I've definitely tried marijuana. That's the only thing. And even with marijuana, I felt like you get locked into something. So energetically, when I have like a vision or something, if I want to pull out or if I want to move around in that space, I can do that. When
Okay.
I'm on, when I smoke marijuana, I couldn't do that. It's like you're in their system.
Give me a second. What do you mean by their system?
Whoever is the beings that are part of that plant, because it is a natural plant, right?
Yes, that's true. That's
You
true.
say that with peyote too. There's those beings that are connected, like the fairies, right? Because the fairies.
Oh, no. Don't tell me about fairies. They are crazy. Jesus Christ.
So those beings are in charge. When you go into you're going into their space, they're in charge. And I felt like I didn't have the mobility that I wanted to go in and out the way I usually do if I'm having a vision or, you know, needing to navigate or even pull out if I don't like what's going on.
Jeez.
So yes, and what it does too, like can cause permanent damage. I don't recommend these, and a lot of people try to go onto these trips without, you know, having supervision. There's no one there to really care about you. They can say, oh yeah, you know, you pay us, we'll help you go through this experience. They don't know you. They don't have a concern for your soul, or, you know, or there's limited concern. So
yeah, from my point of view, this is definitely the best, how can I say it? That was the best terminology, what you said, or how you describe it. Yep.
yeah, so and when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking something might be breaking down in your brain, like your nervous system and in the deeper workings of your brain, that is causing some of these effects, and it could be distortions of faces through the veil. You know, maybe you are crossing over partially, like a semi-death when you experience these drugs.
Give me a second. See my dad?
A semi-death, like you're sort of.
No, I understand what you mean, but give me a second. This is way too crazy. Give me a second. See my dad? What?
Semi.
See my dad, I understand, but I mean, like, this is crazy.
Right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going into the brain and you're tricking the brain to do if whatever it's doing, it could replicate death. It's like even I've had dreams where you're kind of stepping into something, you know, or a very haunted place has that space where there was death, you know.
Oh,
so
my
you're
God.
kind of stepping into that field.
Oh, God. You are crazy, Jessica. Give me a second. And was you, and I mean, like, let's say, like, really, I don't want to say into pornography, okay, but hardcore haunted places? Like it was that hard. Like nah, I don't want to be here. Was it like that
Oh
for
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah, it's dark. It can be very, very dark. Yeah. That one is an insane asylum I went to that was connected. It was the same area where they actually killed some of the suspected witches. Some of them got drowned, some of them got destroyed.
Give me a second. But we are talking about centuries, Jessica. Don't be.
It's still there. It's that place is still very haunted, and it was an insane asylum. They abused those people terribly. Those people were
But
um
what do you mean by abused?
they were laying in their own feces. They were not treated as humans. They were given food. The food quality was poor. They were on the floor. The conditions were horrendous from what I heard.
What?
Yeah, and experimentations, shock treatments.
Give me a second. You mean electric shocks or something like that?
Yeah, this is like the time period of over the years, but
But give me a second. You are
and
talking about Cold
culture.
War or times or so?
Um, time. I know that it was going on. I could probably look it up, but I'm pretty sure that it
But
went.
give me a second. Believe me or not, but the stuff is like electric shock, aka ECT, compulsive therapy, is doing normally on patients all around the world, pretty much. And I'm not kidding you, okay?
That's why I don't think it's. People need to keep themselves together and to be cautious of who they
What does it
share
mean?
information
Keep themselves together.
mentally. You need to, if you are going to work on your psychic ability, your third eye, you need to not dabble in drugs. You need to keep your life in order. You need to be select safe people to discuss certain topics. You don't want to see anyone get harmed, because if they do end up in that other place, or categorized or labeled as someone that needs to be uh handled or medicated or whatever, you're in
Because just by the way, you know that my wife, she got hundreds of ECTs, electric shocks.
okay.
And so I don't want to say it is fine, but at least
No.
it will have some sort of, how can I say it, traces. Do you know what I mean, on her brain? And it wasn't, or it doesn't have. And we are talking about uh, hundreds of volts, maybe thousands of volts. I mean, not for a long time, only very short period of time, less than 1 second, but still, she got burnings and all kind of that crap, So she got plastic surgeries and all kind of that crap,
That's horrible, Peter. That's really horrible. Which explains a lot of not why she is not thinking about telling you some things sooner.
Yeah, and sometimes she's very irrational, just by the way. Highly intelligent, she's got 3 universities, but she's irrational, very irrational sometimes, and doing crazy things. I mean, oh my god.
It made me think of this other movie that I watched recently. It's called Code 8. And I think it originally came out in 2019. And then there's a second one that just came out recently. But I ended
Okay.
up watching both of them. And it's about people like the Merge that have these incredible abilities, but they're 4% of the society, only 4%, and they're very mistreated, very mistreated. And they're constantly surveyed, and they are dealing with society trying to fit in. They can't make a living because there's automation and a lot of AI that's in control of everything. Does this reality sound like anything to you, Peter?
You know what, actually, absolutely. Not maybe or something. Absolutely. Oh my God.
And the people that have these abilities, like there was one guy that could, like a chameleon, he could stand up to a rock and it would be hard to see him. Like he could change
Do you
his
know
body.
what? Do you know what? Chloe has the same crap. I was in the living room, and I was like, she was talking to me, and I was like, where the heck you are? And she was laughing at the situation, and I was like, what? What? And she was standing in the what it was the sofa, and I don't know what it was, and I was like, whoa, 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 this is not normal. Absolutely a chameleon. Absolutely. Sometimes I'm scared from her. Sometimes she scared me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sometimes she scared me.
Well, that's the whole thing. And you see that people's abilities, well, you have abilities too, Peter.
Give me a second. Yes, but I'm trying what? To stay low and not to do crazy things. You know?
You have a little bit more control over it.
Yes. Oh my God. But I try it to, let's say, not to do crazy stuff, okay? As she is. My, oh my, oh my, this is not good.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys has telekinetic abilities. That's kind of what you have.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Telekinesis and 1, 2, 3. Telekinesis and telepathy. Yep.
There's a guy named Freddie. You remember we talked about Freddie with Chloe?
Yeah, I will say it like that, okay? Chloe was heavily dosing herself with what it is, Mercury, and or she was calling it Quicksilver. And as we know, another name for Quicksilver is Mercury, and it was like Freddie Mercury, so she's calling it Freddie, just by the way, FII people, I mean our listeners, you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's very dangerous for regular people to do this, but she's very enhanced, right?
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
But no, still, Mercury is a poison.
Sure is.
Period. End of story. It is a poison.
There's a red stone. I don't know if that's related to it. Well, kind of reddish brown stone. What is it called? Cinnabar, maybe?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
Yep.
Red mercury first appeared in major Soviet and Western media sources in the late 1980s. The article was never specific as to what exactly red mercury was, but nonetheless claimed it was of great importance for nuclear bombs, and it was used in building and boosted fission weapons. Almost as soon as the stories appeared, people started attempting to buy it. At that point, the purported nature of the substance started to change and eventually turned into anything the buyer happened to be interested in. It first appeared in the international black market 15 years ago. Supposedly top secret nuclear material was red because it came from Russia. When it resurfaced last year, the formerly communist states of Eastern Europe is unaccountable, acquired as a red color. But then, as a report from the U.S. Department of Energy reveals, mysterious transformations are red Mercury's stock in trade. The report compiled by researchers in Los Alamos National Laboratory shows that in the hands of hoaxers in common, red Mercury can do almost anything the aspiring third world demagogue wants it to. And
what do you think about red Mercury, huh?
I said, it looks like it's dangerous. I mean, I think it would be even dangerous to touch it.
Yep, probably. You are right. And give me a second. Not you, they are right. Because look, it is, how can I say it? It is mentioned even in Wikipedia. It is not
fictitious as some people say it was. Yeah. Is there
what do you
anything
think?
You want to share? Because that's what I had. And I didn't know if there was something more that you wanted to share.
I think from my point of view, it's fine.
Anything that you want to suggest to the people as you are starting to learn more about what's going on and how to deal with this?
From my point of view, it's fine.
But well, how do people deal with it? And what should I do? Like, what should we look for? Historically, nothing like this has ever happened.
Nope, never. Never. Ah, yay, this is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think you recommended something about honey.
Yeah, give me a second. This is true.
So we will keep everyone updated about what's going on. And I guess for now, everyone stay safe, get your honey. Just if you have any kind of unusual time anomalies happening, and stay safe, be strong. And Peter, any last words?
From my point of view, that was all for today's show. I am really looking forward for next time. Stay safe, stay strong. I want to say thank you, Jessica, to giving me opportunity to be on your channel. I want to say thank you for all of our listeners for your patience to stay with us till the end of the show. And I'm looking forward for next time. Hold tight and bye-bye.
Okay, bye, Peter. And thank you again, everyone. Thank you for your support. And we're going to continue to provide information for you. Have a good day.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.